summertime fun.
Aussie idiot sadly does not get eaten by sharks. Harrison Williams and friends were on a boat enjoying the waters off Western Australia over the weekend when they noticed something very large bobbing up and down in the water, which turned out to be a several-week-old dead whale. Now, you or I might find such a sight a rare and interesting addition to your weekend, but Williams is into extreme sports, and this 26-year-old thought it would be totally rad if he swam over and surfed on the whale corpse. And so he did, much to the delight of his immature friends. But then Williams looked down and noticed about a gazillion humongous hungry sharks, including a great white or two, enjoying some decaying whale sashimi. Finally, in his only sane act of the day, Williams wisely got his friends to rescue him with the boat, narrowly avoiding a Darwin Award nomination. Man jumps into pool from the top of a hotel. A dude with the brilliant idea of leaping off the top of a hotel into the pool caught the whole thing on video with a GoPro. The footage starts off with the man climbing up the stairs to the roof of what appears to be the 4th floor. Evel Knievel can be heard breathing heavily as he looks around and prepares for his incredible leap of faith. The guy then approaches the railing and climbs over it to get to the ledge. When he looks down, he appears to have about 15 to 20 feet of concrete he needs to clear to land safely into the pool. Einstein then jumps off. He just barely misses becoming a Darwin Award winner. He gets out of the pool as quickly as he can, hops the fence, and runs off.
Russian rich spoiled brats show off on Instagram how awesome they are with their parents' money. If you manage for a moment to forget how hard, uneventful, or boring your life is, don't worry. Rich kids of Instagram are there to remind you. They have more money than you, and this is what they do, the slogan goes. Aren't you super thrilled to find out? Instagram even divides them according to their nationality, which seems to go together with their level of douchery. The Russian ones are apparently on pole position. Just look how many visas their parents gave them. Aren't they the coolest? And didn't you die after looking at this dude's watch and expensive shoes? This one got a car because she passed the test in high school. Well, this one was terrified of passing unnoticed. This one is upset. She didn't think she would eventually have to carry all those bags. It's okay, kid. We know you'll hire some slave to help you. These ones are rehearsing for their new hip-hop video. While these dudes... Do we even need to comment? And like Bruce Lee once said, don't think, feel. And that's surely a suggestion this brat is following. But we don't want to be too harsh. Just because they look rich, spoiled, and arrogant, it doesn't mean they have to be douches too. Or maybe it does.
Dumpster pool in Philadelphia triggers citywide crackdown. A few guys in Philly hosted the annual Cedar Street block party over the weekend, and to beat the heat, they rented a large waste disposal unit, filled it up with a lot of water, and created a dumpster pool. A dumpster pool is pretty easy to bring to life. Once you have the dumpster, station it near a fire hydrant. Before doing anything, the bin must be power washed, on account of it usually being used for containing waste. Next, line the bottom of the bin with plywood to create a pool floor. After that, apply a few tarps to create a protective lining throughout the dumpster. Then, for safety, use something soft and spongy, like pool noodles, and cushion the corners of the pool. Lastly, get the right wrench, unscrew the fire hydrant, get a proper hose, and fill up the tank. Then grab your swimsuit, inflatable pool toys, and some friends, and you're ready to hit the pool. But just make sure you get all the proper permits from the city. Following the block party, the Department of Licenses and Inspections issued a stern warning to anyone illegally using fire hydrants and dumpsters, stating that fire hydrants are in place in case of a fire, and that waste disposal units are unsanitary. Cedar Street will no longer be issued permits to host their annual block party. But at least they made a pretty big splash for what turned out to be their final hurrah. Crocodile attacked unsuspecting couple going for late-night swim. This couple in Kariba, Zimbabwe was enjoying a midnight swim when an uninvited guest decided to show up and crash their private pool party. On October 27th, the two lovebirds, who had reportedly just met a few hours earlier that day, were taking an evening dip. Pretty sexy first date. Things must have been getting hot and heavy, but they weren't the only ones with a late-night appetite. Nile crocodiles are ambush predators, known for their supreme patience and understanding of when to strike. Just as the boy toy was making a move on his new lady, the croc made his, diving into the water and going straight for her. As the video shows, the dude's instinct was to leap out of the pool and run to safety. What a guy. Meanwhile, the woman tried to get out, but the croc is king in water. Its sharp teeth cut through the flesh on her shoulder, back, and elbow. Somehow, she escaped serious injuries. Lucky for her, the croc was only a little guy, because once those jaws clamp down, they're almost impossible to pull apart. After enjoying the pool to himself for a while, the crocodile was captured by the Parks Department and relocated to a game dam, far away from humans.
10-year-old boy pictured surfing over a great white shark. Meet Chris Hassan and his son Aiden. They're both big-time surfers from Nelson Bay, Australia. On Tuesday afternoon, he was snapping photos of his son catching some waves with some friends at Samurai Beach. All was normal until he noticed this lurking beneath his son. Some thought it was a school of fish, but actually, that's a shark. And not just any shark, an 8-foot-long great white shark. In a Facebook post, Chris said the shark was having a good look at Aiden's yummy yellow wetsuit. Amazingly, the encounter didn't scare Chris or his son, who was back out catching waves the very next day.
Brothers save 5 people from deadly riptides off Massachusetts coast. Over the course of approximately 3 hours, 2 brothers at a private beach in Massachusetts saved the lives of 5 people. 4 of 6 Cape Cod, Massachusetts beaches raised flags warning of dangerous riptides on Monday, the same day 2 brothers were at a beach in Marshfield. The water at their beach was rough. At around 11 a.m., Colin Bono, 24, noticed a man struggling to stay afloat. Colin grabbed an inner tube and swam to the man. He quickly realized the man was too tired to swim ashore himself. Colin supported the man on his back and swam him to shore. Over the next 3 hours, Colin and his brother, 18-year-old Casey, saved 4 others from the rips. None of the survivors required medical care. Marshfield police had received calls about stranded swimmers at the beach, but by the time police arrived, the 2 brothers had already pulled everyone to shore.
2 idiots surf on a whale shark.
Ahí viene con la boca abierta. Ahora, maestro, ahora. Cuidado, maestro. Ahora, maestro. Coñe la madre. Ay, verga. Cuando venga te echa para atrás y te monta encima de ella. Echa pela. Se la queda viendo. Dale por costado, maestro. Ahora. Ahora sí, maestro, ahora. Eso. Venga, como un caballo, maestro. La rodilla en la verga.
Trivialist presents the 10 fanciest swimming pools on Earth. Who doesn't love lounging by the pool during the lazy dog days of summer? If you're rich enough to afford it, a private pool is a must-have for your mansion. But when you stand away from home and you still need to take a dip, check out these luxurious swimming pools. Resorts tend to go all out, and some of them are so over the top, we had to catalog them into a list of the most bourgeois and extravagant pools on the planet. Our first stop takes us to Dubai, where oil money flows in like the jets in a jacuzzi. The Jumeirah Zabil Sareh Pool is a 59-meter-long infinity pool that overlooks the Arabian Gulf. It's right next to the beach if you'd rather get salty. Oh, and drinking is legal in Dubai, so you can order a drink from the bar staff while soaking up the blazing hot sun. If it gets too hot in Dubai, take your private jet to Tanzania. Sanctuary Swala is tucked away in the Tarangire National Park. Their luxurious accommodations include a pool that overlooks a watering hole, where you can see wildlife in their natural habitat. It attracts some curious guests like elephants, leopards, impala, and lions, so it might be the most dangerous pool on our list. But it's totally worth it to spy on the unsuspecting animals. Third place is taken by the Sarojan Resort on the island of Phuket in Thailand. Phuket is located on the Indian Ocean and is home to some of the nicest getaways Thailand has to offer. The 269 square foot pool cost $1 million and is surrounded by a landscaped garden you can check out while getting your Thai massage. It even has mini private decks with curtains, if you want some privacy to change out of your bathing suit. From the jungles of Thailand to the geothermal pools of Iceland. Number 4 on the list is the Blue Lagoon. The hot spring waters are said to have healing properties, which draws in the crowds at one of Iceland's most visited spots. The 800-year-old lava field is filled with wastewater from a geothermal power plant, but that doesn't stop visitors from basking in the waters of Blue Lagoon. At least it's not the wastewater from a nuclear power plant, though. Oh, and Blue Lagoon sits on the mid-Atlantic ridge, which separates 2 continents. Doesn't get much more exotic than that. If you prefer red instead of blue, well, check out the red pool. Don't worry, it's not the chlorine burning your eyes. The blood-colored pool can be found on the island of Koh Samui, Thailand, at the Library Resort. The tint of the water is an effect caused by having red tiles lining the pool. The deep blue ocean and sky you can see while sitting poolside is in stark contrast to the vibrant red pool, which tourists come from all over the world to swim in. But maybe you like a more artificial environment. The largest indoor pool takes the number 6 spot. It's an indoor beach called the Ocean Dome in Miyazaki, Japan. At 300 meters long and 100 meters wide, the dome is kept at a comfortable temperature. They even have clouds and a blue sky on the roof. Inside Ocean Dome, there's a fake volcano and a wave generation system to give you that real ocean feel. And in case you get a hankering for the real ocean while you're splashing around, it's less than half a mile away. Cannonballing into number 7 is the largest swimming pool in the world. San Alfonso del Mar, near Santiago, Chile, takes the pool noodle for being so massive. It holds 250 million liters of water and needs some serious filters to keep all that clean enough to swim in. How much of that is urine? No one knows. We can't even imagine all the chemicals they pump in there to kill the bacteria. It's more than half a mile long and goes down to 11 feet in the deep end, which is bigger than most pools altogether. Next up is the deepest pool of all time. It was designed for scuba divers and has tunnels, caves, and rooms to swim around in, and a walking path surrounded by water. The pool, called Y40 or the Deep Joy, is located in Padua, Italy, where the scuba diving leaves something to be desired. Construction on the 113-foot deep pool made up for that by becoming a diver's mecca. The 1,136,000 gallons of water remains around 90 to 93 degrees, so divers can take a dip without using a wetsuit. For all the claustrophobic swimming enthusiasts that don't want to dive 100 feet below the surface, there's the infinity pool at the Marina Bay Sands in Singapore. It's the largest rooftop infinity pool on the planet, and it overlooks the booming metropolis below. The pool is cantilevered more than 2,000 feet off the ground. 3 times larger than an Olympic swimming pool, it's a popular spot for people to snap a selfie. They certainly have that right since only guests are allowed to use the pool, and a single night at the hotel costs more than $250. Last one off the diving board is the City Stars pool in Egypt. Made by the same designers that nabbed the world record with our number 7 spot, it has 12 lagoons, and the whole development cost a reported $5.5 billion. It's full of water from the nearby Red Sea, which is pumped through high-tech filters, so it only had to be filtered once. That makes it one of the most environmentally friendly pools on the list, too. Okay, time to dry off and think about the most baller poolside locations from around the globe. If you can afford to visit these pools at the resorts and high-class hotels where they were built, be sure to take some pictures for the peasants to enjoy vicariously. And don't forget to subscribe when you come up for air.